Where are all the high quality women? Lots of guys are asking that question. They think, I'm not seeing any, I'm not meeting any. Are there any out there? Do they even exist? I get it. I completely understand their frustration. I've said it before. High quality women are extremely rare. I also think that high quality men are extremely rare. In general, I just think most people suck.
That might be harsh at first if you hear him say that he thinks most people suck. But if you had a look at it, how many people live a self-sacrificial life, serving others, serving the kingdom of God? Even, you don't have to go to the ends of the world, but serving people in your business, trying to build them up, really are not selfish, who grow, who develop themselves, or using their spare time. Yeah, so why are there so few high-quality people? The Bible actually uses some quite harsh words regarding certain people. I think some of the words are good for nothing, worthless, detestable. I think the Cretans were called, Cretans are always liars, evil brutes, lazy gluttons, and then Paul says this is true about them. So, what does it take to be a high quality person? What are those things you must do? I think many people just think they are that by birth or by nature. No. A person must work hard to reach the echelons of where someone can look up to you, admire you, where your family and friends can be proud of you and know you the person to go to when they're in trouble. And this doesn't come from being socially good or smiling or being cute or looking friendly. It comes from actually hard work on things that don't come easy, like being able to control yourself when you're angry, being humble when you don't get what you want, developing yourself, growing, sacrificing time for others. So I think he's absolutely right. Most people suck, but it's not because they suck because they're born like that. It's because they waste their life in self-service, in selfishness, and living like the world for themselves. There's nothing honorable in that. They cheat, they lie, they scam, they don't work hard, they don't develop themselves, and then they think, well, I actually deserve to be an honorable human being. No, you have to work hard for these things. I think another reason why there are so few high quality people is because the takeoff or the launching pad or the runway of people and older people, teenagers, there are very few high quality teenagers.
No, why are you coming here for? Go away!
When you are ready to talk like
Go away.
I won't be looking through.
Go away. Why are you here for? Go, I don't like you. I'm not coming back in your house. That's that, innit?
You make me feel like you're ashamed to take me as myself, to see your family like it's some special thing.
Which is why it's probably not wise for us to go then.
Sam, let's go then. I'm going out in a bit, girl.
My fat!
You don't do things that you're going to regret.
No, don't put your earphones in.
I don't have to hear you.
Kyle.
Don't put your earphones in because you don't want to listen because you can't handle it.
Okay, Jess.
I'm going to chuck this pencil at
Jess.
Who do you think you are, Kyle? Honestly.
I want my jacket, and I'm leaving. Just so you know. Because I don't clean the toilet, you make me scrub all this. You've just got me to my limit. Like, I'm trying so hard to deck you in the face. Like, I'm about to put a hole in this wall.
I was just like, I can't take it anymore, and then I just went crazy.
I'm not playing anymore. Get it now.
No.
All right, then I'm done.
When Nick was screaming and yelling, I really wanted to calm him down. This is my place of work. I don't want to have an embarrassing scene. You got to watch your language.
No, I don't have to watch my language. You brought me to your place of business. You wanted this to happen. You gave me this.
And there are very few high quality teenagers because there are very few teenagers that are doing things that bring out high quality in a person. Growth, development, Bible study, discipline, valuing controlling your tongue, valuing controlling yourself. They actually value wickedness. The wrong friends, not controlling your tongue, not valuing discipline, not valuing exercise, not valuing hard work, scamming, cheating, lying, whatever. And I think media also promotes that. A lot of the movies now and series is absolute junk and really promotes wickedness. So how would these teenagers know what good behavior is and morals and ethics and discipline when their heroes are the opposite of that? They're actually evildoers, filthy-mouthed, immoral, undisciplined.
Relax a little bit. You don't need the cigarettes anyhow.
You don't tell someone that smokes that they can't smoke.
You can't do
You're
that.
16, Jessica.
If I'm addicted to smoking, you can't take someone's cigarettes away. Or I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna be pissed. I don't want to be here.
Talk about my own.
I'll talk about whoever I want to.
Don't away from me.
Hey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something you're not going to do.
The one thing you're not gonna do is
control this home. When you're out of control, somebody's got to step up and get control. We're seeing the real Whitney coming out.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Talk about my family.
I can talk about.
So many young people don't have the right examples, heroes who sacrifice their lives for service, who travel the world in service and helping people, be it in their businesses or in poor areas. Their examples are often self-service, selfish people, partying, drinking, sinning, swearing, and this all revolves around self. It does not revolve around serving the living God, from which all good things flow. Therefore, how can their lives turn out right?
And within a month of working there, I had met a guy in the club who had introduced me to cocaine, who introduced me to speed, and I think MDMA, and had just, my whole life had just done a complete 180. And I literally felt, I remember at that point walking down the road some days, and I just felt like a shell of a human walking. Like it was everything inside me was just gone, dead. Or I ended up with all these toxic relationships and friendships where they were just using me really, and I was using them to some extent. But I had sort of shut out all the spiritual stuff until one night. It was the first night I had ever tried acid. And we went to a nightclub, and like our friend was like, oh, you know, I have acid tabs. Do you want one? I was like, okay, and we bought some acid tabs, and they were like these little, so they're like little squares of paper. He said to put it on your tongue or under your tongue, and he's like, because, you know, if it starts getting too wild, you can spit it out. I was like, okay, and put it under my tongue. My tongue started getting like really tingly. I remember looking up, we're in the beer garden, and looking up at all the lights and everything, and dancing around, and like, oh my gosh, that's so great. And then my friend grabs me, and I looked at her, and it was like her face was like distorted and she had obviously gone into a bad trip. She had to leave. I was like, oh, okay. And then she left out the side with our other friend who was on acid. And I was walking through the nightclub, and I remember coming across a girl that I had worked with, and I was like, oh, that's great. And she's like tall and slim, and she's beautiful. And we're dancing around, and I remember looking up at her. At one point I'm dancing, and I look at her, and she's laughing and like smiling at me. But her face, like she looked like she was all like twisted up, and her face was like this gremlin, like laughing at me. And I freaked out because I'm in the middle of this dance floor with all these people around, and I'm looking at her, and then the people that she's with turn and look at me, and they're like, everyone, I realize I'm looking around at everyone around me, and I'm like gremlins. There's literally like gremlins all around me, and I started like freaking out, and I was like, I need to get out of here. I can't do this. So I got lost trying to get out of this dance floor, and I finally got out to my friend outside. But that was one thing that I'm like, that must have been a spiritual door that was opened at that moment, because to be able to look at someone and see these demons and these things looking back at you, I'm like, that can't just be drugs. And I only realized that recently, actually. I was like, that can't just be drugs. And yeah, other times I took drugs, it was these weird moments would happen. Like we took some MDMA once, me and a friend, and I remember lying there, and it was after the buzz had sort of kicked off the next day that I turned to him, and I was like, were there other people in the room? And he was like, yeah, I felt like there were 2 other people in the room with us. And I was like, yeah, like I literally, at one point I remember seeing them, like there were 2 other people in the room with us, but it was just him and I in the room. So I'm like, I knew all the spiritual things were playing out in front of me, but I guess I was just used to just blocking them all out.
This is very important. What is behind sin? What is the force controlling sin, destroying people's lives through alcohol misuse, drug misuse, sexual immorality? The Bible tells us the devil is on earth, and I think the Bible also says he knows his time is little or short, And it also says he has come to steal, kill, and destroy. The wicked and evil forces that are trying to lead you into the wrong friends and to do the wrong things to destroy your life, to kill you, is something you must realize and take to heart. Flee from these sins. It is not just the alcohol or the sexual acts. There is something incredibly wicked trying to get you down this path more and more.
I just chaperoned two 14-year-olds to a last day of school beach party, and all the schools were there. I could not believe my eyes in what I was seeing. Groups of girls just twerking, people videotaping this. Endless supply of marijuana. I have never seen so much marijuana in my freaking life. And I used to smoke marijuana. Endless supply of liquor. I mean, they were just drinking it straight. There was no chasers, nothing, no drinks. Everybody was drunk. Everybody was high. You could barely talk to them. They were so out of it.
I've said it before, high quality women are extremely rare. I also think that high quality men are extremely rare. In general, I just think most people suck. But leaving aside for a moment the fact that there's just a general shortage, if you want to know why you're not meeting or even seeing evidence of that many high quality women in the dating market, there's a really simple answer. It's because they're already in relationships. They've met their man. They're having children. They had no interest in staying in the dating market. They didn't want to explore their options or be promiscuous. They wanted to meet their man and start their life. There was a bit of controversy a couple of months ago on my Patreon page. In one of my exclusive videos, I said that if a woman is 30 and she's still single, that in itself is a red flag. If a woman is 30 and she's still single, you have to ask the question, what has she been doing with her time? What are her priorities? Has she had relationships? If so, why did they fail? Now, there might be a completely reasonable explanation that would justify or explain it all, but my general take on it is that high quality women desire to get into long-term monogamous relationships basically as quickly as possible. They aren't interested in staying single. They don't want to play the field. They want to settle down. So if you're a guy in your 30s and you're looking around at the women in your dating pool thinking, where are all of the high quality women? That's the most obvious explanation I can give you, is that they're already in relationships. The truth is that if you value loyalty from your partner, then you should be looking to date a woman while she's young. Devotion, loyalty, pair bonding. These are not mysterious processes. The manner by which a woman becomes devoted to you and loyal to you in a relationship is entirely explainable and can be replicated. So let's go through it. So, as a woman's growing up, the predominant masculine force in her life is her father. You know, he's taking largely the responsibility for her. But after she moves out of home, even if she's still in contact with her parents, she now becomes responsible for herself. That's the first step towards becoming an adult. Turning 18 might make you an adult in the legal sense, but truthfully, it takes a long time, lots of years, lots of effort of prolonged growth and increasing responsibility before you can actually declare yourself to be a true adult. Now, if you're a young guy and you meet a young girl, say the two of you are 19, you're going to go through that process together. Largely, the two of you are kids who are learning to be adults together. It's in that growth, in identifying challenges and then overcoming them, that's where the bonding happens. It's through going through these personal transformations with your partner. When talking about a woman's loyalty to her partner, the essential element in the bonding process is that she links that personal transformation with you. The journey that she's going on, her personal transformation, is inextricably linked in her mind with her relationship with you. She works hard to finish her college degree, and you are right there with her, encouraging her and helping her to study. She gets her first job, and you were there helping her prep for the interview and calming her nerves on the first day. Her boss is toxic, and she learns to stand up for herself, and you were right there with her, coaching her, role-playing with her, helping her navigate that situation. She confronts trauma from her past, and all these difficult emotions come up, and you're right there helping her process them. You know, you stay up with her late into the night, you hold her as she cries, you're there for her. She is becoming a new person, and you are right there with her. You are such an intimate part of her personal journey that she couldn't imagine it without you. If, at the end of all of that, she grows into somebody who is competent, happy, filled with self-love, and you helped her get there, well, that is a recipe for a loyal and devoted partner. It's pair bonding, and the strongest bonds are often forged through difficulty and challenge.
And that's what the Bible teaches us. We have great relationships because we build them. You don't find them. That's a tragedy with a modern dating game where someone can end up at 25 with 10 sexual partners. Because whenever hard times came, they just broke up and went for the next easiest, best, most lustful option. Look at this quote. If you're wondering why your relationships lack zest, it's because you stopped creating experiences that brought out newness, vibrance, adventure and growth. Work, work, work and creativity. Let your wedding day be the worst day of your marriage. From then, it's just beautiful growth. When hard times come, that is opportunity to build your relationship, to deepen your relationship. That is why this divorce culture of when you hit problems in a family, you just leave your family, because in working through problems, overcoming challenges together, that develops the strong, deep roots of unity, pair bonding and love for each other. Find someone who complements you. Yes, complement, not compliment. I think that's how it's said. A person who accentuates your true personality, who adds fuel to your fire, who develops your, this is now not in the writing obviously, who develops your passions, who cares about your passions and developing you. Then in the writing again, someone who can help teach you things you could never have learned on your own. Someone who's also growing, learning, who brings new ideas to the marriage. The one who sparks your creativity and challenges you to be better and better. And in that there are some difficult discussions, but someone who loves you enough to put them in an uncomfortable situation to talk about difficult things. Many people have such peaceful relationships because the other person just turns a blind eye to extremely bad things in your life. That is not love.